Hello, everyone. This is Brian Ankney. I'm with AutoSuccess magazine, and it is my pleasure today to be hosting a webinar to give you a sneak peek at what you'll have the opportunity to learn at the Women in Automotive Conference coming up August 18th to 20th in Orlando, Florida. Today with us, I have Christy Roman, Joni Stuker, Kathy Gilbert, Subi Ghosh, and Jody DeVere. Each of them is going to share with you, some of the things that you'll learn at the event coming up August 18th. There are still some tickets available if you're interested. Go to womeninautomotive.com, and there you can register for the event. Christy, are you with us? Christy? All right. Might have had a technical difficulty here. Let me just verify. She had dialed in.
You are now
Christy, are you with us now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Hello.
I am here.
Fantastic. Christy, I'm going to go to your slide and we can get started.
Okay. Well, the ladies and I, we decided it was time to try to see if we could put together an event that was aimed at women who work at dealerships and also vendors, female vendors who work for dealerships, selling them different products. The mission is really pretty simple. We want to assist the automotive community in recruiting, retaining, and developing female employees and leaders. What we find is there's a lot of training programs specific to skills that are necessary maybe for sales or F&I or marketing, but there's not really anything specific to how women can interact in a dealership, what kinds of careers are available within the industry, and we kind of wanted to put something together to address that, and also where people could network and learn from each other and be inspired. So some of the speakers we have, Tammy Darvish, who is the VP of PenFed Credit Union, Lisa Copeland, who's a managing partner for the #1 Fiat store in Austin, Texas, Linda Barnett from Fifth Gear Sales, Linda Bartman, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for CDK Global. Some of our sponsors include AutoNation, Asbury Auto Group, Hendricks, Cars.com, BASF, Cox Automotive. We've got so many sponsors who've stepped up to try to help us with our mission and to support this initiative. We actually look at this more as sort of a movement, more so than just an event. We're going to have great entertainment. We're going to have a Jersey Boy, a Jersey Boy quartet that's going to come in and do a bunch of songs from the Jersey Boy musical. And we're doing buy one, get one free tickets. You can go on womeninautomotive.com to register. There is a student rate also if you know any students who are interested possibly in getting into this business. The event will also have a recruiter who's going to do some sessions on why the automotive business, what's great about it, to try to entice people who come to the recruiting event. We're going to have a recruiting event also to just get people involved and engaged in getting into this really great industry. So, on to Joni Stuker. She's going to talk about attracting women to dealerships.
Hi, thank you, Christy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Joni. I've got your slide is on. Joni's actually in a dealership working today, so she's not able to see what we're all seeing, everyone. But Joni, right now I have your slide up. It says attracting women to dealerships, and from there.
Got it. Thank you so much, and welcome everyone. Years ago I really thought that women were just going to overtake the retail side of auto dealerships. When you walk into a store, I thought, hey, we're going to own this place. And if I look around today, we still just don't have enough women that are involved in the retail side of the auto dealership. And I think it's really important that we don't just ignore this fact. So we're going to be talking a lot in training on the areas of attracting women to work in auto dealerships. Couple very key bullet points. You need to establish what's a real clear career pathway. So when someone's possibly even entertaining working in a dealership, what does it mean? What are my opportunities? If a dealership hosts things like new owner clinics for people that purchased a vehicle, that's a great platform for attracting women to even look at the opportunity to work in a store. Let's face it, if you go into a dealership and as a consumer, you're treated extremely well and professional, that in itself makes a customer think, maybe this is someplace I could work. I believe in hosting open houses. An open house regarding employment opportunities is a great platform to attract women to the dealership. List out and provide to consumers a history of current employees. In other words, talk is cheap. Let's really show how well you treat your employees, longevity of employees there, and how about success stories? If currently in your dealership you have some key employees and they're female and they do an awesome job, create a success story for that. You can also post and advertise this when you look at recruiting and hiring. You can post that on your website. I mean, those are great stories. Think about it. We go to websites and we're always seeing the same thing about how we give rebates and discounts, and maybe we have testimonials from consumers about how they bought the car and liked it. Why don't we post testimonials about employees and what a great place it is to work? And maybe we can start attracting some other individuals. Obviously, hiring. If you advertise via your circle of influence is huge. We need to set very clear parameters as far as what's the marks for success. We are just an industry that is on so much generalization. I think it's time for us to get very, very specific. Also, we need to be open when it comes to hiring, to being creative. Don't just look at it, for instance, and say, hey, if you're a car salesperson at our dealership, you will work Monday through Saturday, X amount of hours, no exception to the rule. I think if you are open to being flexible with those hours, then you might be able to attract some other individuals. So look more at who you're attracting, the qualities of that individual, and worry less that they can only provide 30 hours to you. If you look at that flexibility, then you create what is extremely effective, and that's more of a job sharing platform. Job sharing is something that works extremely well. And if we do that, we might be able to attract a larger group of individuals who in the past maybe thought, wow, I'd love to be able to sell cars, but there's no way I'm going to put in 60 hours. I can't fit that in my personal life. Also, when you're attracting and trying to attract people in that hiring mode, if they come into your dealership and they are, for instance, going through an interview process, be prepared to provide a walkthrough of the dealership. In other words, don't just isolate them into the one category that they're applying to. If I'm applying to be a receptionist, there is nothing wrong. In fact, there's everything right with having this individual walk through the other departments and understand and visualize how much growth could actually be there. If you even took a receptionist role and didn't make that person think, well, here you go, it's $10 an hour and that's all you get, if we don't stop that cycle, all you're going to do is keep replacing that position. Why can't they go from point A to B to C to D? So when you're hiring, when you're in that recruiting process, be sure to do a walkthrough. Be sure to do an example of what does exist and not just the one position that they are applying for. We have the next little bullet points, training. And I think we have to be very careful here. You need to set a very clear agenda as far as what that training will encompass. Don't just look at the role of, say, how to sell a car. Look at how to communicate. I think our communication skills are probably one of the worst things, not just to consumers, but also interdepartmental. So we need to provide communication skill training, job skill training for the performance. How is that going to be actually conducted? So if you want to hire in and you want to make a difference and you want to attract better people, training is your key point. You can't just stick them in the back room with some web training. It doesn't work that way. So we need to set metrics to measure our success. And I truly believe that when you train individuals, it's imperative that you have a platform of, say, testing, core testing. So these are just bullet points that I'm discussing, things in our workshop. If you attend this conference, you're going to have the details for proven testing, for advertising. So again, these are things that are going to be provided at that workshop. Make sure that when you are training an individual that they are able to engage and utilize and role play through training. So testing, role play, but most importantly, setting a clear agenda. My last bullet, which I think is interesting, so many times when we train individuals, we assume that they get it. In other words, hey, all people must learn at the same pace. We know that's not true. all people retain at the same place. That's not true. So retraining is huge. The only way to really know if an individual needs retraining or within what areas is to make sure that when your training portion concludes, you've set up clear metrics, you've set up clear areas that you can judge and rate their growth. So retraining is huge. Motivate and encourage to ensure their growth. Make sure that you've got your pacing down. Again, it's interesting to me that the world of working in a dealership, to me, I've been in it forever, is an amazing opportunity for growth. It is just tremendous. The whole point is that it doesn't just happen by simply doing the same things we've been doing all along. We have to set a game plan. We have to be able to attract by showing all the good things that we do, and obviously watch for that growth. So I'm hoping that this helps all of us that are listening to really start looking at how we can attract women to our dealerships. Again, we'll be going much more further into these items at the conference. Really hope to see you there. I'm going to pass over now to my associate, Dynamic Power Women, Kathy. Take it over.
Thanks, Joni. Thanks, Brian. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great.
Perfect. Well, I'm so very thrilled to be part of this inaugural conference, as well as working with the successful leaders that we have on our board. This conference is going to address a very important and growing audience in our industry that we've been talking about. Now, although women are not statistically a minority in the United States based on the U.S. Census, we could qualify as a minority group because we tend to have less power and fewer privileges than our male counterparts. So one of our goals with this conference is to highlight how dealers, vendors, manufacturers, and others in our industry are really winning with women leaders. The automotive industry is experiencing a dramatic change, and the women that are leading, and our women are leading this charge. The industry is starting to recognize the talent and the value that women offer, but they're really looking for ways to capitalize on this very valuable resource. More and more women are entering the workplace and achieving higher education globally. By increasing the share of women in the business, leadership positions, companies have seen tangible rewards that benefit not just the women, but the businesses that they represent. You'll hear more about this at the conference, and I'm excited about that. Now, throughout my 20-plus years in the automotive industry, there have been many times when a little, and in a lot of cases, a lot of advice, support, and criticism were critical to my own professional development. Having partnered with many women leaders, Jody DeVere being one of them, I realized that having a mentor is a very, very important and valuable for women. Both as a mentor and as a mentee, that relationship is critical for women. And it's also very good for business. Fortune magazine noted that 65% of women who have been mentored will go on to become mentors themselves. So at the conference on the 19th, 4 of Ally Financial's senior female leaders, will be on our Mentoring, Networking, and Driving a Diverse Culture panel. These senior leaders will discuss the Women's Leadership Network at Ally and how they are mentoring women, demonstrating how women can become senior leaders, providing networking, giving back, and then helping to drive a diverse culture. In addition to the panel discussion, we will also have Mark Bland, who is VP of Diversity and Inclusion for IHS Auto, speak on diversity and inclusion matters. Having an inclusive work environment for women, millennials, diverse associates across the country makes a company more attractive. With women being one of the fastest growing automotive consumer groups, Mark is going to share some very interesting and enlightening automotive consumer trends for women. I encourage everyone, dealership employees, vendors, manufacturer associates, to attend this conference. With over 13 general sessions and keynotes and 18 breakout sessions, you'll hear from powerful leaders in our industry. One of the featured speakers that Christy mentioned about is Linda Bartman, my Global Chief Marketing Officer for CDK Global. Now, stats show that Americans on average own 4 digital devices and they spend 60 hours a week consuming content across these devices. Linda's presentation, Marketing to Women, is going to discuss ways to better engage female consumers along their journey to vehicle purchase. I encourage you to visit our website to find out more information about the conference, as well as to look at all of the talented and powerful leaders that will be speaking. I'll turn it over to Subi, Executive Vice President with Dealer Authority. Subi?
Thank you all so much for having us on to talk about this exceptionally important conference. I'm more than honored and proud to be included with these women as they planned this conference, and I can't wait to share it with everyone. So the topic of millennials is an interesting one. I think that it's very misunderstood, right? When you think about a millennial and the connotation of what a millennial employee is, you think about a 15-year-old with a smartphone, glued to it, you know, texting and walking at the same time, and just no drive, no work ethic. But by definition, I hate to break it to you, I'm a millennial. And by definition, I would go so far as to say I have a pretty good work ethic and I'm really driven. I may be glued to my smart device, but who isn't? And reality is we have to understand this group and this growing population of the workforce, right? Like Joni said, it's about looking to hire the right individuals and provide them the right foundation, the culture and work atmosphere to attract and retain these people. And as society evolves, different generations have different needs. And with those needs come evolving what perks we give them and time. And so we're going to be talking a lot about millennials. And there are needs that go past just women, right? Millennials, males, a lot of these people in this industry have the same issues. Time is becoming more valuable than money or title, and how are we supporting those needs of our potential amazing employees? So there's a lot of topics within that will help us past just a female topic. And then under 40, this is also another misconception of what success means and how or who can achieve that success. I'm really, really, really proud to moderate this panel, talking to a few women under 40 that are killing it in the industry. And I think it surprises a lot of people when they find out what they've achieved at what ages. You know, age doesn't really matter, but I think that there are a lot of women in this space that don't feel like they can achieve that level of where they want to be in their career at certain ages, or even just being a female. And I'm so certain that coming to this event and networking with these incredible women, not just on our board, but everybody that's attending and speaking, it's just going to be a great moment, really, for our industry. But I will be on this panel, moderating this panel, of a few women that are really killing it. Jennifer Briggs, e-commerce director with the Feldman Auto Group, Bobby Heron, digital sales and marketing director at the Gilbert Automotive Group, and Kate Frost, who doesn't know and love Kate Frost. Here's just a few examples. And as we talk about our challenges and our paths and opportunities and what our story has been, I think it's going to really enlighten not just employees of women who want to follow in those paths, but also employers. You know, what made a difference to help us, you know, be able to do for our employers what we could do. I think that's a really important part of the conversation. Social media, another misconception. There's a lot of thoughts about what social media is and how it works. You know, it's not all about just fluff and nice yoga, but this can be a source to help you sell, and to empower your employees to utilize this tool is exceptionally important. So incorporating social media not only for your employees to sell, but also how to empower your employees to have that brand to help you grow your brand as a company, whether it be on the dealer or vendor side. So for me, this conference is a movement. It's about really providing an avenue for an underserved population and providing education to employers on how to recruit and retain and create female leaders. I think this is a huge point in our history as an industry, that we embrace this population, and it can only get better from here. A few of the incredible speakers that we have that are going to be talking about these topics. We've got Joe Webb, president of Dealer Knows, one of our resident male speakers that are going to be doing an incredible job talking about the makings of a great internet director, with a few great female internet directors in the country that are panelists that they're going to be sharing their experiences. We've got Brianna Fisher, VP of Business Development for Automotion. We've got Laura Madison, who just recently came out of the dealer side a few months ago and is doing wonderful things talking about social selling. We've got Craig Lockard talking about hiring and retaining women in this space. So now on to Jody DeVere, who is, I mean, if you're talking about networking with people who have really built this incredible industry and shown a light on what it is for women. As the CEO of Ask Patty, she is a champion for women in the automotive industry, and I'm really, really honored to work beside her on this. Jody, take it away.
Wow, thank you, Subi. And you know what? My remark is that I love the youthfulness that Subi and her panel and her cadre of women. We have, by the way, for the gals out there that are working in automotive, we have a great Facebook page, Women in Automotive. We would love for you to join us there. A lot of great conversations going on there as well. So what I would like to talk about is that another segment of the Women in Automotive Conference is we have a whole lineup of speakers to talk about different aspects of selling to women, marketing and advertising to women, and this could include how you market and advertise to hire and retain women too at jobs, creating a culture that wins with women, car buying, men versus women. That's going to be a great presentation by Waylin Oetken of Kelley Blue Book. I've actually previewed that presentation at a prior event, and not only is it great data and the study that they did revolving around this, but she is really funny and fun to listen to. You know, I've spent 10 years now working on developing programming, training, and all types of marketing and advertising pieces aimed at helping automotive retail clients reach more women and increase their effectiveness. But there's still a lot of work to do. And I think that even the marketing companies that work with dealers could learn a lot from this conference if they're going to help them deliver better results with women in their marketing and advertising. And we have such a great lineup of speakers in this track to highlight some of the things that will be great takeaways from the conference, including some of the keynote speakers that we will be having, including Lisa Copeland, who is the #1 Fiat dealer in the nation and who's sort of a force of nature when it comes to selling and marketing to women. And by the way, I believe about 90% of her staff are women too, so she must be doing a lot of things right over there. We're going to also have Allison Estes of Cox Automotive talk about the power of the purse. It's actually called The Purse Powers the Pedal, and how women shop for cars. We're going to have Jenny Crenshaw talking about how your service advisors could do a better job with women. We're going to have Carrie Weiss, Vice President of TrueCar, and keys to engaging with millennial women car buyers. And the list goes on. one of the speakers I'm really looking forward to hearing from is Susan Scarola of the DCH Charitable Foundation. She is an expert at cause-related marketing. And an interesting fact is that women are 28% more likely to buy if the company she is dealing with supports one of the charitable causes that are meaningful to her. That's a really great stat when you're thinking about growing your presence in the community. I know many companies are supporting charities, but are you thinking about which charities you pick in terms of how that's going to resonate with your women car buyers and service customers, or for that matter, as employees? Cause-related marketing also impacts how your employees feel about where they're working. And if they are involved in the causes that you support, it gives them a great feeling to feel like a participant for something good. Anyway, I just want to wind this up by inviting you once again to join us for the Women in Automotive Conference, August 18th through 20th in Orlando. You can register at www.womenautomotive.com. We're still offering a 2-for-1 registration, and for more details, you can reach out to us also by contacting us through the website.
Thank you, Jody. Everyone, this is Brian with AutoSuccess again. I wanted to thank everyone for attending, and especially I'd like to thank Christy Roman, Joni Stuker, Kathy Gilbert, Subi, Ghosh, and Jody DeVere for taking the time out of their days today to share with us what people can learn by attending the Women in Automotive Conference. One more time, go to womeninautomotive.com, womeninautomotive.com to register today. Thank you, everyone. Now, does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask of our speakers? Let me see here. Here's one. Whoops, that was Kathy. Actually, I have one here from Hannah. Hannah wants to know, like, with the mentoring part, will she be able to get to meet and are you guys offering to mentor young people that are just new to the business?
One of the things that we will have at the conference is an opportunity for attendees to sign up if they're interested in the program. There won't be anything formal rolled out during the conference, but we will. Our plan is to have a follow-up mentoring activity. So anyone that is interested either in being a mentor or a mentee will be able to sign up at the conference.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, one other thing I want to let all the attendees know is if you have any questions for these speakers, you can find their information on the website. If you have questions afterwards, would you remind them one more time what the group was you wanted to join? Because they could reach all of you directly there too, right?
Yes, it's a Facebook group called Women in Automotive, and just request an invitation. Or you can contact myself, Jody DeVere, on my Facebook page, and I'll send you an invite. I just need I need to be friends with you to invite you to that group.
Okay, perfect. Well, everyone, I appreciate you taking the time to take a look at this event. Please go directly to womeninautomotive.com so that you can register today. Space is filling up quick. This is Brian Ankney. Again, I'd like to thank all of our speakers today. And if you have any questions, please reach out to any one of us. You can find us all on our websites. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Awesome.